Hello and welcome back to Seconds Out. My name is Ayman Khan here with Michael, the Bounty Hunter. Michael, how you doing, sir?
I'm good. How are you? I'm good.
Yeah, not too bad. All the better for speaking to yourself. We just had Halloween over here, and whenever it's Halloween, your Predator mask entrance always comes up. Have you still got that mask?
Yes, I do. Yes, I do, man. I'm looking to get put on another performance with another mask too. So
What was the inspiration behind the Predator mask?
that he's a bounty hunter.
Oh yeah, of
He's just
course.
that he's just like me.
Which is your favorite movie?
Uh, I like them all. I just enjoy just the theme. And all the other bounty hunters out there. So
Shout out to them too. And you were back in the ring at the tail end of September. It was a bit of a surprise appearance in that it happened quite fast. What brought that about? What got you into the ring so quickly?
it was just something I felt like I needed to do. I was done waiting. And we just made it happen. So yeah, it was pretty fast. It wasn't something that I had planned. I just said, man, you know what, let's just go this route, and we did. We took it, and it's been, I think it's been pretty beneficial.
Pretty beneficial indeed, getting your name out as well out there as well too. The question is, when are you back out?
Hopefully, I'm thinking in December. I have a few different opportunities in December. I'm currently trying to lock in. So definitely, it seems very promising in December right now.
Hopefully, see you back in action very, very soon. I want to get into the thoughts of the heavyweight division, some of your rivals as well too. First of all, on the undercard of Tyson Fury versus Francis Ngannou, there's a lot to talk about there, but the ongoing rivalry between you and Martin Bakole. Bakole saw himself beating Carlos Takam in the ring. How did you assess Martin Bakole's performance against Takam?
I didn't watch it, but the outcome on paper, it looked good. He knocked him out. It was early. Um, I didn't think that I said that he wasn't going to stop him because he was so big and overweight, and so he did good.
What do you think of his weight?
I think I think he's just a little big. That's all. I mean, he eating good. That's all.
Speaking to Billy Nelson in the lead up to that fight for Martin Bakole, he sort of said he wasn't really interested in the rematch, but also said if the fight came around, they would take it. Is it still on the table?
I mean, I think that fight is always going to be on the table. Um, you know, I think the better, the more fights he does without me and the more fights I do without him, it's always going to be something to be talked about. I think that, I've always said when I fought him that I wasn't going to get credit until later down the line with him. So that's something that, that's now manifesting. It's like money in the bank, you know what I'm saying? So, I'm willing to step in the ring with him whenever. I always feel like I'm the best regardless. So, it's all easy, you know what I'm saying, downhill for me. So
Is this bigger version of Bakole a tougher prospect at all?
nah, he's fat. He's lazy. You know what I'm saying? He's too big.
Now, in terms of that main event, I want to get your thoughts on that before I bring it back to yourself. Tyson Fury versus Francis Ngannou was a shock for a lot of people in the boxing world. Don't know how to digest that shock and seeing Ngannou really put on a real good performance. Did you see that fight? What did you think of Ngannou? Can he compete with the best of the heavyweights?
Yeah, I said it in a previous interview before the bout. Um, Pre Francis Tyson, that the maybe I said it over here on this network, that that it was going to balance a little bit out because Tyson Fury was taking this fight a little easy, taking it lightly. He was going to the gym, but he wasn't training. There's a difference between working out and actually training for a guy, or actually having that mentality and having the whole camp. When you're you have the say so. It's hard to have anybody really enforce things on you. You know what I'm saying? Especially when you know everybody thinks so highly of you, and you know what I'm saying. So I think that, like I said that it was going to balance out. He was going to be a little lackadaisical, and Ngannou was training like, it was his last fight. So I knew that he was going to have some success. This much success, I wouldn't say so. I think he kind of out, he outclassed everybody, of what they thought that he would do. And I think it was a good opportunity for him. It was a win-win as long as he didn't get knocked out anyway. And the fact that he was competitive in the fight, I think it was awesome. I think it's kind of bad, because of not because of Francis. Francis not doing anything wrong, but I think that, now you got like, all the other fighters that want to fight him, you know what I'm saying? Chizore's a little different. He's an OG. He's kind of like, he kind of gets what he wants. He's, you know what I'm saying? Nobody gonna complain about Chisora, you know what I'm saying? He's a GOAT. So he's in a different position. But like Deontay Wilder, Anthony Joshua, I think it's just, even Tyson Fury, I think it's ridiculous. It's a disgrace if they continue to have those type of fights with him. And not trying to put him down, but I think he should fight some other fighters. I think that he won't be. He will be competitive. He's super strong. He's a mammoth of a man. So, he's a fighter too. So obviously everything says he's a fighter. He's probably extremely strong. The skill wise, I think Tyson Fury. But that lets you know what type of class he's in. The class was, if that was Lennox Lewis or Holyfield or something, they would have put him out. They would have made sure that there was a level, and you've seen it here tonight, and Tyson Fury didn't do that. But even though I think he has levels, but he can touch the level, but he's not really, consistent on the level. Almost like Usyk. Usyk's very consistent. You know what I'm saying? He's he fights at a high level, every time. He doesn't get dropped. You know what I'm saying? He doesn't yeah, you go, she sleep. He doesn't get he stays very consistent with what he does. So his fights are not, up and down like Tyson Fury. Tyson Fury been dropped several times in this. I had a lot of downfalls in in his fights. And for them to even, consider him the best, it's really the people's fault, I think, for letting them get tricked. You know what I'm saying? But that's how it goes.
When you saw the knockdown for the first time with your own eyes, did it take you back?
I thought it was funny because of Tyson Fury's look on his face after when he was on the ground. He was like, it's like he realized. We all kind of been there. You get to that point in the fight, like you realize that this guy is, he's going to be here for a while, and it's going to be a little bit tougher than you expected at that time. You know what I'm saying? And you might be in the middle of a round or a couple rounds, but you have some fight left in the fight, and you kind of realize. I think he realized that he wasn't going to be able to hurt Francis Ngannou like he thought he would, and Francis Ngannou could also hurt him. And he wasn't in as good enough shape as he should have been to actually get him out of there. You know what I'm saying? He could probably weather the storm, and which he did. You know what I'm saying? But I think it was just a realization after he got dropped.
A bit like Curtis Stevens and Golovkin, that moment was there in its own little form.
Yes. Yeah.
Did what you saw as well change your mind on how Fury versus Usyk would go?
No, I always thought Usyk would give him a problem. I still do think he'll give him a problem. I think that he's too fleet-footed. Now, I do think that, if Tyson comes at his best, that he could make it competitive. You know what I'm saying? Because we've seen Tyson compete at a high level. Even though, even for real, the opponent he has is not really high level. So, but we've seen him be good. We've seen him, do some good things to be that tall. He moves, he moves pretty well. But, to say he's the best is kind of just I think it's just too much. And I think you all seen it, you know what I'm saying? So
Just you mentioned there Chisora as a potential, future opponent for Ngannou, and that's being rumored for this December 23rd date. Is Chisora's style something more complex for Ngannou? Do you think he's got a better chance of beating him?
No, actually, I think if they were to his management and his team were gonna, continue to go this boxing route, I think that Chisora might be a good fight. That's a better fight than having one of those other guys, Anthony Joshua or Deontay fight him. I think that that's a decent fight for him to win. He can win. That's a winnable fight. I think he gives Chisora some issues, but I also think Chisora might be a bad night for him too. If Chisora is really gritty, he's going to keep coming forward. So I think that he could break. It's a possibility he might could break Ngannou, but we don't know. You know what I'm saying? We don't know. I mean, he's a fighter, so um, that has yet to be seen yet. So,
Lastly, before I bring it back to you on Ngannou, giving him and his team some flowers for a little bit. I know that Dewey Cooper is also part of the Team Combat League too. Dewey's not a stranger to boxing at all. He's very much got accolades in this game as well as he does in MMA. But has he got to take? Is it a bit of a step forward for him now, having given this performance, helped aid Ngannou in this performance for him to shine a little bit more on that night as well for Dewey?
yeah, I think it was a perfect spotlight for Dewey because Dewey's like you said, he's a combat. Out of all the people, he knows a little bit about everything, and he has the experience. It's not like he's an actual thoroughbred. He's coming in, at the right time, and I think that it was really about the game plan. A lot of those fighters, we always, if you're in shape, it's a man versus a man with two pillows on their hands. You know what I'm saying? So if you come in shape in the right game plan, it's going to be hard to beat anybody. You know what I'm saying? So I think that Dewey, with all of the experience and all the, him knowing Francis of being, because I think if he would have got too much of a boxing coach, he would have been able to tell him stuff that was a little bit out of his range to be able to do or accomplish. I think that Dewey knowing how MMA fighters are and knowing, Francis and knowing boxing, he was able to put a good game plan in, and I think it went very well.
Right then, bringing this back to yourself, we've talked about Bakole and your back and forth, but there was also a back and forth regarding a fight with Deontay Wilder, whether that was put forward to you or not. I've seen on your social media you said, look, you take the fight in a heartbeat for less money than you would deserve. But there was also the other side of the coin was saying that this was put to you. So what is that lay of the land? What's the story from yourself?
Yeah. Well, I'm glad that they kind of squashed it. They didn't publicly squash it, but they did DM me. They did DM me, and told me that the people was from his side because I didn't even know the guy. I don't know nobody. I seen that he was a fighter in my brother's weight class. So if he want to square it up, he gonna have to deal with my brother first. But yeah, I don't know. He was just talking crazy. So I just said, me and Deontay know each other. So, and I ain't never said nothing bad about him. I've always told the truth, what I'm saying, what it was. And, me and Deontay are cool, but we not, super friends, nothing like that. You know what I'm saying? So, I was wondering if obviously they was probably talking crap or whatever amongst their little team or whatever. That's what it sounded like. But so I pressed the issue and see if they were, if they really wanted any issues, because I was going to keep continuing to keep posting and keep firing that up because we all know, me and him know what's happening. So for him to even say anything like that is blasphemy, you know what I'm saying? So for even his teammates or something like that. But, like I said, they squashed it, they DM me or whatever. Deontay DM me. And he apologized or whatever. And, it was what it was. So I left it alone because I really don't really, I don't really like to play like that. So I don't know if they was, I don't know. I didn't get anything from Deontay, and I wanted them to, if he didn't really apologize, I felt like I was gonna have to jump down their throat because, it was nothing, never really negative said, what I'm saying, about it. But there's tons of stuff, what I'm saying, that I've kept quiet, and what I'm saying, that that I don't really even speak about. It ain't got nothing to do with nothing. Me and Deontay is, what I'm saying, he's on his own path, what I'm saying. But if we ever crossed, we know what's up.
So, is there the potential for that fight to ever materialize, or is this kind of put a dent in it now?
Nah, it was never something that was going to be materialized. Uh, I think that he has his own stuff. He got his own stuff going on. I think that his guy just had a big mouth and was just talking and just spoke a little bit too much. Maybe it was all in the circle. They was all talking crap or something. I don't know. However it was, but like I said, it wasn't real. Deontay, it wasn't coming from Deontay. Deontay said he wanted to focus on Anthony Joshua. You know what I'm saying, and leave the money alone. So I ain't obliged to letting the guy make his own money. So he can have that.
Now, you're no stranger to putting yourself out there and wanting to call those big fights as well, like you mentioned there with Wilder or anyone else.
Yeah, he almost had me fired up a little bit. He almost got me excited for a little bit, but I knew it couldn't have been reality, a real thing, because of the situation and even the guy it come from. I still don't know who that dude is, but Deontay Wilder know me, and his trainer know me very, very, very well, and they know that I'm not that guy. So they gracefully bowed out, and I respect it. So.
Fair enough, Michael. We haven't seen Wilder in the ring, and we haven't seen Ruiz in the ring too. And Ruiz is someone that's on your hit list as well.
Yeah. I heard Ruiz, got some other issues. I don't know, but these guys, I only put them on the hit list because, I try to leave these guys alone, but they say things. You know what I'm saying? Like, he said that nobody will fight him. You know what I'm saying? And that's my word. I coined that phrase. So you know what I'm saying. And if there's somebody that beg to differ or think a little different, then then we can square it out. So I didn't like the way he came at it, and I wanted him to change it. You know what I'm saying? So because that's not true. I want them to be able to speak the truth and hold up to it. A lot of these guys are, we have 80% business. You know what I'm saying? 20% boxing right now. So all these guys are trying to wait and hold out, talking about nobody will fight them, and they've already got their money and they've already got their big fights. So if they're really here to entertain and they're not just a fighter, they would know how to make value. You know what I'm saying? They would fight and make the value outside of it. You know what I'm saying? And that's what the industry wants right now. So, but they, instead of they're being selfish and being they're trying to be in the business of boxing instead of just being a fighter and stuff like that. So
that's a great quote there, actually. I thought there from yourself, 80% business and 20% boxing right now. That seems to be the situation. I want to get a couple of thoughts on a couple of the people that are on your hit list. One of them being Frank Sanchez, who is less than impressive maybe last time out.
Yeah, I'm ready to get in the ring with him at any time. I think that's a good fight for me. We've had our own little beef when I first seen him. He came to Vegas. I seen he was a nice sized kid. He looked young, strong, athletic. And, he was in Vegas, so I could tell he was a boxer. We was in a boxing environment. So I'm like, who's this big young guy? You know what I'm saying? I want to see what he's about. I didn't even speak English. I told my guy, I was like, hey, ask him, how old is he? How many fights he got? You know what I'm saying? We were supposed to meet up at the gym, but it never really happened. So, but that's a fight, I think that, like I said, I've reached out, I've reached out to these guys, and, my people reached out to their people, and they always talk about, oh, they're going to just wait until they get the money or get a money fight or blah, blah, blah. They don't have good product. That's all that is, you know what I'm saying? And they're waiting for the recession or the time to elapse so they could, fit him in there where he can get in. You know what I'm saying? But I'm real product here, so quality.
Did you catch Otto Wallin's victory over Murat Gassiev?
I did not see. I seen a little bit of it. I did not see the whole fight, but it looked like from what I seen. He looked very calm. He looked good. Um, you know, I thought it was the way I didn't watch the whole thing, but the way he started out, I figured he might have had a little trouble a little bit at some point. But the way out in the beginning rounds that I seen, he did a beautiful job. You know, he kept his distance. You know, he didn't move a lot. He didn't expend a lot of energy, and I was impressed by Otto Wallin for what I seen. But like I said, I only seen like the first 3-4 rounds, but he looked good to me.
Someone else who looked good, he was albeit at a cruiserweight, it was Joe Pataya, but you were there in there looking for the fight.
Yeah. I really don't know the guy. I just seen him on my Twitter, and you know, people were giving him praise, and I seen that he was in my weight class. So you know, but I reached out, but they, you know, people are a little too green right now. You know what I'm saying? They gotta get a little bit more seasoned. You know what I'm saying? So maybe these fights will happen. I'm willing to fight cruiserweight, bridgerweight, heavyweight, either one. I'm 213 right now, so I'm a couple weeks away from making cruiserweight. So I like to show that I'm the best. So I would love to compete at a cruiserweight fight, a bridgerweight fight, a heavyweight fight. I just want to be able to compete and show my worth. You know what I'm saying? I really think I'm the best, and I've been the best. I feel like that for a long time, and I feel like there's only one competitive person, which is Usyk. I think that Tyson Fury can get competitive, but I think he's on like a level lower. He's spotty. You know what I'm saying? He's been more spotty, and for him to be have the opportunities and to be a champion and all that, and to still be spotty, that lets you know where his greatness lies. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, Lennox Lewis that's not in his nature. You feel me? He would have put an end to that. You know what I'm saying? That was supposed to be one for boxing against MMA. We lost that. You feel me? So, I just think that that's the level that it's a mindset, and I don't think that Tyson Fury is on that mindset.
What's more likely then for you in this December date? Heavyweight, cruiserweight, bridgeweight? What's more likely?
Most likely heavyweight. I'm here in heavyweight. I haven't fought a cruiserweight fight in a while, but I've been trying to exercise it, letting the people know that I will and I'm willing to, to drop my weight and make the fights happen. So yeah, I would love to uptie all those guys, all those fights, cruiserweight fights. I think the cruiserweight fight. I mean, the cruiserweight division, especially in England right now, is booming. It's a good division to be in. So I would go back and forth if I could. That's always something that's been a dream of mine since I was a kid. I always dreamed about fighting back and forth. Because my weight was always. I've always been like that since I was like 17. I've always been right around this 200-pound weight class. So I would be excited. It would be exciting for me to, let them know that, I'm dealing with all the people at cruiserweight and all the people at heavyweight, so.
And finally, are you linking back up with AJ? I think he's back over in America now.
Oh, no, I haven't got any calls, but I'm not obliged to. I just been just doing my own thing.
No worries, Michael. Michael, a real pleasure speaking to you. I knew it would be another pleasure to speak to you again. Thanks for speaking to Seconds Out. So looking forward to seeing you back in the ring too.
December.
Can't wait to see it. Appreciate it, Michael.